Hi everyone, welcome to Greeklish Outdoors. Today we are looking at a new air pistol from Umarex. It is the UX SPA100. So, stick around. So I spotted this online. I've never seen this pistol before. It looked very new and I thought it looked like a bit of fun and would give it a try. It comes in two versions, the SPA100, which I have, and the SPA60, which has a shorter barrel. But with the size of this barrel, it looks too much fun not to get this one. Anyway, let's take a closer look. So there's the box, the SPA100 spring piston air pistol. Just open this up. In the box, you get some information and warranty booklets, and you get the actual pistol itself. So the length of the barrel is kind of ridiculous, but also really fun. It's got a really nice grey and red colour scheme on it, and it feels actually pretty nice in the hand. But before we go any further on that, let's have a few facts and figures. So the Umarex SPA100 is a 4.5mm or .177 caliber break barrel spring piston air pistol. It has a rifled barrel, it weighs 806 grams, has a total length of 425mm and a barrel length of 242mm. Now in contrast, the SPA60 weighs 721 grams, its total length 345mm and a barrel length of 162mm. Umarex state that this should have power outputs of less than 3 joules and can fire pellets at approximately 100 meters per second. It has a polymer construction with a textured grip. The gun is safe when this lever at the side is pressed forward. To release the safety, you click that back, revealing the red dot, and put it into fire mode. However, the trigger will still be locked. That's because it also has a beaver tail safety on the back of the handle, which means that even if you deactivate the safety, you can't fire it unless you put your hand against that beaver tail safety, and then the trigger will pull. It has fixed sights at the front and rear, and I believe the pistol is actually made in Germany. You can tell the quality, just like many other Umarex pistols, feels actually pretty solid. It might be made out of a polymer material, but it feels tough, rigid. It feels like it'll take a knock without breaking. Because it's so big, you think it'd be really heavy, but actually, just over 800 grams, it's actually very manageable. And that large pistol grip fits really nicely in your hand there. Of course, to load the gun, you need to break the barrel down until you hear that first click. Then you can add your pellet to the barrel and simply click the barrel back up and you're ready to fire. I'm not going to fire it now because there is no pellet in there, and you should not dry fire these guns. It really isn't good for them. When you're priming this gun, because of that long barrel, you do have quite a lot of leverage to cock it, and therefore it doesn't seem like a lot of effort. That would also indicate to me that the power is not going to be very high, but it's very manageable, especially if you're going to have a day of fun plinking with this. When I recently bought this, my first impressions were very good. It is a cheap air pistol. We'll get into the price later on, but it doesn't feel cheap at all. It feels nice and solid. So to test this pistol out today, we're going to put it over the chronograph to check its actual power and pellet velocity output, and we're going to do some target shooting. And I have brought a variety of different pellets to test this out with. To give this pistol a fair test, we're going to put 6 different types of pellet through there. We've got the lead pointed pellets by Crosman, we have the pointed polymatch lead free pellets by Skenko, the copper Devast by Norica, the flathead match classic training pellets by Gammo. We have some Gammo zombies, which are a mixture of lead and have a pointed polymer tip, and we have also the lead 3 steel BB and plastic tornadoes by Kvintor. Results from the chronograph testing are as follows. The Crosman pointed pellets had an average velocity of 104 meters per second, which is 341.2 feet per second. That equates to a power output of 2.6 joules or 1.92 foot-pounds. The Skenko pointed had an average velocity of 127.5 meters per second, which is 418.3 feet per second. That equates to a power output of 2.12 joules or 1.56 foot-pounds. The copper pellets by Norica were obviously too snug a fit with the barrel of this gun, as they did jam the gun. This happened the first time I tested this, and it happened again today. I had to actually put a metal rod down the barrel to unblock it. So unfortunately we have no results for those pellets, and we will abandon those for the rest of the testing. The Kvintor pellets had an average velocity of 166.8 meters per second, or 547.1 feet per second. That's a power output of 3.2 joules or 2.36 foot-pounds. The zombie pellets again were quite snug in the barrel, and therefore the results reflect this, with an average velocity of 36.5 meters per second or 119.8 feet per second. That means the power output is only 0.34 joules or 0.25 foot-pounds. Because of that, again, we are going to abandon the testing of these pellets for this gun, as they are obviously not suitable, and again, I do not want to get another jam. Finally, the match pellets by Gammo, they had an average velocity of 74.3 meters per second, which is 243.7 feet per second, and that means a power output of 1.35 joules or 1 foot-pounds. So again, the gun didn't really like the match pellets. So far, the ones that seem to perform pretty well are the Crosman, the Skenko and the Kvintor. However, we will continue with the match pellets when we're testing out the accuracy of this gun. If we compare those pellet velocities and power outputs with the manufacturer's claimed, we see that basically the Crosman pellets are about on par with what the manufacturer says. The Skenko and Kvintor pellets are super lightweight pellets and therefore have exceeded the manufacturer's claim for speed, but do come under that less than 3 joules power output. There is no comparison really with the zombies, they're just too sticky for the barrel, and the match are way below what the manufacturer states. So far a bit of a mixed bag. Those jams in the barrel could have been a little bit dangerous actually, because at first I thought my chronograph was in error and therefore not picking up the actual pellets going over. And it was only actually after 2 or 3 shots I realised that the pellets were actually compacting in the barrel. Anyway, let's move on to accuracy. All the testing today is going to be from 10 meters away, and first up, let's look at these Crosman pointed pellets. Next, the Skenko polys. Now it's the time for the Kvintor tornadoes. And finally, let's check out the Gammo match pellets. So results from the accuracy testing, overall not too bad. It's not the most accurate pistol. However, I'm kind of putting it at a slight disadvantage by shooting it from a standing position without a rest from 10 meters away. It does have quite a long barrel, and in the windy conditions today, the pellets of course are going to be deflected a tiny bit, and also the barrel is moving around just very slightly. So therefore overall I would expect it to have better accuracy in more favourable conditions. First up, the Crosman pointed pellets. Overall not too bad. All the pellets were in a straight line with a spread of 4 centimeters. Next, the Skenko polys. Again, the shots are fairly central, but with a spread of 5.5 centimeters. These are quite light pellets, so they will be affected by the wind more. The Kvintor tornado pellets are the lightest pellet here, seem to have a fairly okay grouping in the centre of 4.5 centimeters. You might think that's not accurate, but for a pellet gun like this, I don't think that's too bad. And finally, the Gammo match. Yes, vertically they're kind of fairly in line, but with a spread of 6 centimeters. So the Gammo match were the least accurate pellet of all today, followed by the Skenko poly, the Kvintor tornado, and then the Crosman pointed were the most accurate here. But again, I do say that today's conditions aren't the best for shooting with this pistol. I do think with a bit more practice I could get the groupings tighter, especially if I had a rest. That long barrel is a little bit unwieldy trying to line the sights up, but it was fun to shoot. So let's talk about quality of the gun. Well, as I said at the beginning of the video, the construction does feel very solid. It feels like a well-made piece of kit. It feels like it will last a fairly long time. The only issue we've had today are you've got to be careful with the type of pellets you use inside. This is not an especially unique property, as many air guns do favour certain types of pellets. But the issue with this is the fact it did get jammed with the copper pellets, and that could have been a little bit dangerous. So do be careful if you buy this gun and you are testing different types of pellets. Make sure you do a few trial runs, again in a safe place. Make sure you wear the old eye protection as well, because you could have an issue. Those jams obviously relate to the diameter of the barrel in relation to the diameter of the pellets I'm using. Those heavy copper pellets are really meant to be used in a rifle, so I was kind of pushing this a little bit. It is a fairly low powered air gun, and therefore some of the lighter pellets like the Cvintor Tornadoes or even the regular standard Crosman pointed pellets would be fine in this gun. I do like the details on it. It does look very, very cool, and it's definitely fun. I mean, pulling that out of your jacket is a lot of fun. I think it's got a little bit of a Robocop vibe to it, and as long as it's not loaded, you can actually perform a few tricks with it. I can't imagine there's a massive power and accuracy difference between this and the SPA60 version. The only difference is that that one would be easier to unblock if you've got a pellet stuck due to the shorter barrel. But overall I like it. I do like the colours. That red detail against the grey body is very, very nice. It feels good in the hand. It looks good as well. Overall, not a bad pistol. Now that brings me on to the price. This airgun here in Greece retails for around about 50 euros, which for the quality of this gun, I don't think is too bad at all. 50 euros for a fun looking air pistol, which is okay for plinking. Yes, it's not going to win any accuracy awards. You're not going to be taking it to a competition, but it is fun for a plinker in the garden. If you don't want this extra long barrel, you can go for the SPA60, which retails for about 4 euros less than this one. So what do you think of this gun? Is it something you've tried to shoot yourself? Is it something you would like to have a go on? Or do you think it's a little bit too over the top with that massive barrel and would prefer the SPA60 version? For me personally, I think it was pretty good value buy. Especially for the quality of it. It feels tough, it feels like it'll last a long time, and it's something I'll have a bit of fun with some friends and possibly even my family with a little bit of shooting practice here in the field. So, accuracy, not bad. Power, okay. Fun, pretty good. Looks, I think it looks great. Let me know what you thought of this in the comment section below. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so today. It'd really help the channel out. But for now, thanks for watching. Take care. Much love. See you next time.